Thank you, General President Kelly and General Secretary Treasurer Lima, and thank you, delegates, to the 57th Convention of the International Association of Firefighters for your warm welcome. On behalf of the 75,000 members of BAC, the International Union of Bricklayers and Allied Craftworkers, the longest-serving union, it's a real honor to be here with you today. I appreciate that Ed put me behind Maura Healey, my sister-in-law, Kim Driscoll, Lieutenant Governor of Massachusetts. So let's give another round warm of applause for Governor Healey so Kim still has a job in the morning, please. So it's especially gratifying that you chose Boston, what many, or at least myself, describe as the greatest city in our country, as the venue for your convention. And while I'm sure that the choice of venues had nothing to do with the fact that President Kelly's hometown here is Boston, it gives me a chance to point out that Ed and I hail from the same Boston neighborhood, Dorchester. And I understand Marty Walsh was here earlier with you today and also made the same pitch for Dorchester. So maybe there's something in that dirty water that they sing about at the Red Sox game. You know, but in all seriousness, it's truly an honor to share this convention center with the bravest trade unionists in North America. And I don't say that lightly. The members of my union know what it means to work at tough and dangerous jobs. And despite our best efforts, the building trades, construction still has amongst the highest number of workplace fatalities of any industry in the United States. Now, it's true that that grossly disproportionate number occurs on non-union job sites where they lack the safety rules and procedures that we have fought so hard to win in our contracts. But union construction workers aren't immune from the possibility of mortal danger on the job. And even putting aside fatalities, construction is an inherently dangerous business where workplace injuries are far too common. Unlike many folks, BAC members are acutely aware that we're never guaranteed to come home from work the same condition that we left. And so when I call IAFF members the bravest trade unions in North America, that's not hyperbole. Because as hard and dangerous as construction is, we know that there's a big difference between going to work on a construction site and reporting for duty on the fire ground or other emergency sites. We know that not a month passes where a union firefighter hasn't lost their life in the line of service to protect others. And we know that despite the immense risk you face every day, the brothers and sisters of the IAFF never shy away from their solemn oath to protect their neighbors. You are truly North America's bravest, and on behalf of BAC, I salute you for everything you do to keep our communities safe. But it's not just your fearless commitment to protecting our communities at your own peril. It's your commitment as dedicated trade unionists. For over 100 years, the members of IAFF have harnessed your union's solidarity to make firefighting a better career for yourselves and for generations to come. And nowhere is the transformative power of that solidarity more evident than the immense strides you've made in the struggle for safety for firefighters. Workplace safety is one of the paramount goals for all labor unions, and your union's commitment to health and safety is second to none. In fact, it's an inspiration to every other union in North America. Whether you're fighting for justice for 9/11 first responders, or to eliminate PFAS and other toxins from turnout gear, or the mental health of members who suffer with PTSD, the enormous resources that IAFF has dedicated to the safety of your members is an example to all of us in organized labor. Taking care of our fellow members is job number one, and no one does it better and with more resolve than the IAFF. And your resolve to take care of each other isn't limited to safety. When your brothers and sisters in Renton, Washington's local I-66, who protect Boeing's massive production facility outside Seattle, were unjustly locked out early this year, you showed that resolve in spades. IAFF members from across the union, including Ed and Frank, showed up with other members to make sure I-66 members got the respect they deserve. Other unions from the IFTPE to SMART Alongside members of the Seattle Building Trades to the Washington State Labor Council joined the fight, and in May that struggle and the solidarity won the members of Local I-66 a fair and just contract. It's solidarity that wins safer jobs, it's solidarity that wins good contracts, and it's solidarity that attracts members to our labor movement. And your solidarity has helped the IAF continue to grow in members and in power over the years. Not many international unions can claim to have grown their membership by 15% over the past 10 years. But thanks to your reputation for fighting for your members wherever they are, the IAFF can do just that. I've seen that firsthand in meetings of the AFL-CIO with our nation's elected leaders and agencies, where General President Kelly made sure that the interests of the IAF were front and center. That's an expression of trust in your union, and that's the fruit of solidarity. But your solidarity doesn't stop at the walls of the firehouse. Wherever the fight is, on the ground, in the halls of power, or supporting your union brothers and sisters on picket lines across the continent, IAFF members can be counted on to show up and carry that fight forward. We saw a great example of that, one that particularly touched me as a building trades leader, just this spring, when the Associated Firefighters of Illinois learned that their legislative conference in Springfield was being held at a hotel where the roofers union was picketing a non-union contractor. Not only did the firefighters of Illinois refuse to cross the line, they laid down a marker for that owner: lose the non-union contractor and replace them with a fair contractor, or lose the firefighter's business. Within hours, the job got turned around, and the union roofers got to work on that hotel. Thanks to the IAFF members, those roofers got to put food on the table, they got to build a better and safer Springfield. That's the power of solidarity. As strong as it can be within one union, it's magnified exponentially when we support each other across craft lines. And that means everything to BAC, to know that the IAFF will bring its solidarity to help us in our fights wherever they are. And I've seen it firsthand. At BAC, we've had the privilege of working with the IAFF over the years to fight for safer buildings in our communities. Our unions have a common interest in ensuring that buildings provide their occupants the safest dwelling spaces possible. That means making sure that lightweight, easily combustible building products don't replace materials like masonry that provide genuine fire resistance. Along those same lines, my union is also committed to defeating misguided efforts that would eliminate current code requirements for 2 separate stairways in residential buildings above 3 stories. I know from personal experience that the passion and expertise that IAFF brings to the fight for safer building codes is unparalleled. And we look forward to continuing that work together to keep our cities and towns safe wherever the fight takes us. You know, the fight for justice in the workplace is as old as the founding of our 2 countries. And the opposing forces that seek to silence us and divide workers is just as old. This cynical strategy was best summed up by the 19th century railroad robber baron Jay Gould, who claimed that he could hire one half of the working class to kill the other half. In recent years, we've seen that playbook trotted out again, where politicians attempt to restrict or eliminate the collective bargaining rights for workers in the public sector, and in the process, try to pit private sector unions against them. Workers must reject that tactic just as forcefully now as we did when our unions were first founded. Solidarity must be our unequivocal response. My office in Washington lies directly across the street from a firehouse, home to DC Fire Department Engine Company 2, Rescue Squad 1. When I hear the sirens start, sometimes several times a day, I know that the brave men and women are headed somewhere on a mission to keep their community safe. And I also know that those same men and women are my brothers and sisters in the union, and that wherever the fight is, they'll stand with the members of BAC for justice in the workplace and for a fairer society for us all. We couldn't ask for better allies, and I can assure you that we've got your backs as well, because that's solidarity, and that's what every member of union in the United States and Canada has in common. When we stand together, when we join in each other's fights, we win. Brothers and sisters, on behalf of BAC, I wish you a great convention, enjoy Boston, and go Red Sox.
Yeah, baby. Great job, my pal.